This will be a really long one, TLDR at the bottom. Obligatory apology for 2 reasons. English isn't my first language, so any grammatical error is expected. I'm on mobile. Characters, ugly ho CM, ex-fiancé's cunt mother SF, spineless ex-fiancé. My boyfriend and I were together for 9 years. On our 7th anniversary he proposed and I said yes. But we decided that we'd get married after 2 years so that we'd have time to save up enough for the wedding, and our future kids etc. Our families we ecstatic except for his mother. I don't know why but she never liked me since day one and she was not shy in showing it, i.e. incessantly accused me of being a whore, but mainly being a gold digger. I'm not trying to brag but I earn more than her son and, this will be important later on, I came from a well-off and respected family in our community. Whilst preparing for the wedding, his mom took pleasure in being a goddamn pain in the ass. CM would make changes about the details of the wedding without informing me or her precious boy, such as informing my guests that their invitations were revoked to accommodate her chosen guest, whom I've never met or heard about before. Mess with the seating arrangements, and change the menu and arrangements etc. I had to pay twice just to revert the changes she made. Of course it did not sit well with her, so being the ever-mature adult that she is, she cried and threw a tantrum. A fucking tantrum. I am not a confrontational person and I easily get anxious when I feel tension arise. Thank God SF's grandparents, from fiancé's father's side, were really lovely people, and OFC my beautiful grandma, they were the main reason why I was able to put up with all the bullshit she was doing. Belittling was one of her hobbies, so it did not come as a surprise when she berated me about my wedding dress, which was gorgeous BTW, and it was handmade by my mom's best friend, who's like my second mother. It took a year and 3 months to finish the dress. In short, the dress was really special to me. I never ever raised my voice nor said anything negative about CM. But the straw that broke the camel's back was when she stole my wedding dress 2 months before the wedding and destroyed it because she didn't like design. I had a full-on anxiety attack when I found about what she'd done, and whilst my anxiety attack she never lifted a finger to help, but she was on her usual routine, calling my anxiety attack as a cry for attention and that I was just being overdramatic and opos. It was too late to fix the dress, so I ended up buying a new wedding dress. By this time we were way over our budget for the wedding because of this monster. Wedding day comes. Lo and behold, my dashing fiancé was a no-show. No one knew where he was and no one could reach him. I was devastated, and a crying mess. And of course, CM thought it was a perfect opportunity to verbally attack and mock me. TBH, it still hurts me every time I remember this. Up to this day I honestly believe nothing will ever make me feel so pathetic. I showed up to work the following day, desperately trying to distract myself from all the fiasco. And 3 days after, I found out that he had been cheating on me for a year with a mutual friend. The worst part was we all worked at the same place. As I said, I am not a confrontational person, so I did my best to avoid them and avoid the drama, but us started tormenting me by purposely showing off how sweet SF was, how he treats her like a princess, topped with nauseating public display of affection, and was spreading rumors and talking shit about me just to get me riled up, but it didn't work. With the help of CM started targeting my family. As I mentioned, my family is well respected in our community, and everyone knew what went down between us. So some of our close friends informed us about H's malicious comments about our family. Of course, my ex-fiancé, being the ever spineless bitch he is, did nothing and sided with his new hoe. I am really close with my grandma. She was the one who raised me when both my parents died. I love and respect the woman. She is an epitome of what a classy woman is. She has this aura that was really kind and comforting but can be very intimidating when the situation calls for it, which is why she is well respected and well loved in our community. She always had a smile on her face and treated everyone well. And if it wasn't for her I don't think I would make it after all that had happened to me. So when H started badmouthing her, I was hellbent on destroying her and my spineless and ass-less bitch ex-fiancé. I was beyond furious at this point, thus I started scheming on how I planned to drag them down. I talked to my grandma about it, but she convinced me not to do so and that I should just leave our hometown for a while to take a breather and take some time to heal myself etc. After weeks and weeks of discussions, and I eventually saw how everything that had happened and currently happening was taking a toll on my mental and emotional health. I conceded defeat to my grandma's idea. So I left, didn't contact anyone from the hometown except my grandma OFC. 2 years passed, and I received an invitation for our high school reunion. By this time, I've been really missing my friends and family, so I decided that it was high time to return and reconnect with my old friends and family. Everyone was surprised to see me, but everyone was really warm and welcoming. It certainly felt like I was back home. Everything was going well. I was in line to get a refill of my drink when I overheard 2 girls blabbering about how H was pregnant and the father of the child married man. I was curious as fuck, but decided not to pry about since I no longer want to be on the loop about whatever was going on about them. The following day, I met up with my favorite cousin, and my curiosity got the best of me, so I asked him about what went on when I left. And oh boy, I was not ready for the tea. My grandma always had a gleeful disposition. She always greeted everyone and engaged in small talks with anyone. But apparently, when I left she started to act differently. The happy grandma from the next door was gone. She always had a gloomy smile. Even the way she talks changed. She talked about how bad she felt for me, how she was hurting so much that her precious granddaughter was going through such a rough time, how it broke her heart knowing that she couldn't do anything to ease my pain. People around us knew grandma as someone who hates to be seen as weak and helpless, thus it was truly a heartbreaking surprise when they saw grandma at such state. Despite her lamenting about my unfortunate situation, she had nothing but kind words for SF, CM, and everyone revered me and my grandma for handling the situation ever so gracefully, their words not mine. Despite all the bad blood, we took the high road. People now started treating SF and CM differently, they became a social pariah. After hearing what both SF and CM did and how they treated me, especially CM, most family members cut their ties with them. CM's husband, a good man, but very timid, apparently was my grandma's student, filed for a divorce and declared that CM could have whatever she wanted for the marriage as long as he doesn't have to deal with her anymore. As for SF, most of our mutual friends sided with me through the ordeal. SF was being groomed to be promoted for a takeover as the department chief, and this was huge because if it went through, SF would be the youngest chief in the company's history. But due to what had happened and the fact that his boss, my second mom's husband, was a close family friend of ours, it all went down the drain. SF was not fired from his job because boss thought it would be such an easy way out, and because my grandma spoke to boss that firing SF would be wrong and unprofessional and again playing her sweet old lady card. I was caught having an affair with one of her boss. Unfortunately this boss of hers was married. The wife found out about the affair but didn't know who the third party was. Obviously, divorce papers were filed, and both parties agreed that it was a no-fault divorce. Until, the wife received incriminating evidences of both and the boss which were sent anonymously and APOS. Grandma hired a private investigator to collect enough evidence to incriminate both and boss. Not only did the wife sue for 80% of their property but she also filed case to have his license to be revoked on grounds of moral turpitude. As the investigation went on, they found out that and boss had been stealing from the company. One thing people did not know about my grandma is that, she's really conniving. She knows how to play that sweet lady card all too well. TLDR. Fiancé was a no-show on our wedding day. 3 days after the whole fiasco, I found out that he had been cheating on me for a year with one of our mutual friends. Grandma pretends to be a sweet old lady made it her mission to destroy their lives one by one. Edit update. My grandma just told me, she saw at the grocery store and decided to have a small talk with her. She approached with a smile on her face and a bottle of olive oil on her left hand. My grandma is very soft-spoken. With a huge, sickly sweet smile she proceeded to talk shit about Of course being was pissed and started yelling at my grandma. A fellow shopper saw what went on and called the manager and the security. When the manager asked about what happened, began furiously explaining and repeating what my grandma just said to her. My awesome grandma then put on her gloomy smile and said that I approached her because I wanted to know if this was the right kind of cooking oil I was looking for. I couldn't read the label since I forgot my glasses at home. I'm sorry miss, I didn't mean to bother you, I just needed some help. And this infuriated The manager turned to and said ma'am, the old lady just needed some help, and I'm pretty sure she would leave you alone if you just tell her you did not want to be bothered. My grandma then said it's alright sir, I was at fault here. Again, I'm sorry miss, hope you have a lovely day ahead. Everyone who saw the commotion gave dirty looks at the grocery store and some were really sweet and offered to assist and accompany my grandma while doing her groceries. I fucking love this woman.
I know that I'll never be as cool as she is, ha 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 ha.
To whomever it was, thank you for the platinum award. Really appreciate it. And for the gold, you're all lovely. My grandma and I would like to thank each and every one of you guys. You're all really lovely, and she'd like to share a little advice. When someone screws you over, let them think that you are an underdog, and when they are complacent, hit them where it hurts and APOS. Hope you're all doing well.